Hello and welcome to another sleepy edition of the Weekly Deathmatch. I don't know if it was a first sleepy edition of a Weekly Deathmatch, but I only just woke up. It's like 11:30 in the morning, and I was up too late playing video games. I will get into that in a moment, but first I just want to say this match of Emerald Tournament is brought to you. No, is put on a Mutator's sniper match and low gravity, and I've never done sniper match before. Weirdly, even though I've played the shit out of this game, I've never really investigated like sniper match, flak match, that kind of thing. So I might try out a few of those if I ever do more of these. And I know I did this last week and stuff, but for the same reasons as last week again, I'm just not playing Overwatch or Destiny or any other kind of game with online like shooty PvP. Like I said, I'm tired in it, and I'm just enjoying this, and I hope it's fun to watch. I think it's fun to watch, but the numbers do change of viewership based on game to game, so I might need to properly look into that and see what I should be playing or whatever. But I don't know, I do this for fun, right? So maybe I shouldn't. Anyway, last night I streamed a lot of Final Fantasy XIV with Reese, and we did some silly voice acting and neither of us have ever really done that before, and it was a lot of fun. Some of it went surprisingly well when I listened back to it. Some of it went as badly as I thought it would when I listened back to it. But we kind of we did some dumb voice work. We improvised a bit. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, and I've actually decided to kind of cut together some of the voice stuff. Not, I think Reese might be doing something similar, but it's a rough cut, my stuff. It's just like I was fishing through stream highlights, and I just kind of put together some of the larger clumps of us doing that. And knowing the way Twitch, I haven't watched them back yet because it was like 1:30, so I just hit publish and then went to sleep. But knowing the way Twitch handles stuff like that, there's actually a decent chance that even though in the preview it's fine, it might have like cut off the starts or the ends of some clips, so it might not even be very good. I need to go and see how that turned out. I don't really like the Twitch highlight editor thing because of that reason. It can be very finicky. But yeah, I have a sore throat and I decided to do some stupid voice stuff anyway. It was a lot of fun, and the game itself, so I should talk about that. The other day I don't know, I've been hearing lots of stuff about Final Fantasy XIV. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of people on a lot of different podcasts have been playing it, and they said it's a decent MMO for the first 50 levels, and then it goes amazing, like with the story, it just becomes amazing and stuff. And having never really been able to get into a Final Fantasy game myself, like just with the way the genre of that series typically goes, like turn-based JRPG isn't really my thing. I do want to try a couple of games like Ni no Kuni and stuff because they look cool. And I watch anime and stuff. It's not like I don't like Japanese style like animated story stuff. But yeah, it's really nice that I get to see a Final Fantasy style world, and I fucking love the monster design and like the way the character, like some of the characters are so goofy, and like just the way the world looks and stuff like that. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really glad I finally found a Final Fantasy that I can be invested in. But also from an MMO standpoint, I was just so I'd say my my silver medal MMO, the MMO I play when I'm not playing WoW would probably be Elder Scrolls Online, but I mean, every time I play it, I'm like, there are just things about that game which strike me as not that great. And every single time, I'm like, I am having fun with the game. I do enjoy ESO, but like the combat's never really been there for me. Like, just I don't know, the way the game does a lot of things. I'm too tired to remember them all right now. Kind of grates on me a little bit, and I was thinking this would probably be around the time I turn around and get back into ESO, but I mean, last time I played it was when the Elsewhere expansion came out, and I expected to love that, and the story, that's another thing that I just can't really get into. The story is a bit meh. And I do love that world, and I do enjoy my time playing that game, but I was like, I want something a little bit different, so I decided to try out Final Fantasy, and I'm very glad I did. And I've played 18 hours of that game now, according to Steam. Probably 16, because there was 2 hours of downloading and installing through a launcher, as there always is with an MMO. But I'm looking forward to playing a whole bunch more of it, and this probably won't be the last time you hear about that game. At least not until WoW Classic comes out anyway. I was gonna actually try this after WoW Classic came out, because I figure I'll play WoW Classic for a few months and then I'll probably burn out on it. But I don't know, I just felt like I needed something new to play, and I decided I'll play it before and maybe alongside WoW Classic instead. Also, this week is the last week that I'm doing 2 jobs at once, so hopefully I won't be so fucking exhausted all the time. I can never remember what I've talked about in previous weekly death matches, but I'm not hugely excited about leaving my old job because I like the people there and stuff, but it will be nice to be able to get some sleep. Lately I've felt like, oh god, I've still got to do like the weekly death match and that kind of thing. And that's probably why you've seen lots more Unreal Tournament stuff come up, and I love playing this game, but at the same time, like, it does feel like my go-to for like I just need to quickly get one of these episodes out. But after one more hectic week of working 2 jobs, because so I'm doing overtime at the other one to make up the hours of leaving the first one, and I've started doing the overtime before I fully left the first one, so yeah, that's kind of why I'm dying inside right now. But it'll be fine at the end of this week, and it'll be cool and stuff, and then I'll miss those people, but onwards and upwards, that's the thing people say. I should also mention that these are skilled level bots, which is a little bit of a misnomer because they're like, I think in the bottom half of the skill levels, they're like, I don't know, out of like 8 difficulties, maybe they're like difficulty number 4, something like that anyway. But I think like based on the mutator you've got in the game, their difficulty actually kind of varies. Like in Instagib, I find harder bots a little easier than in the normal mode of play. It might just be because I've played more Instagib in my life, but also other things factor into it, like low gravity obviously makes it a little bit easier to aim when they're falling, which I didn't really think about when I turned it on, but whatever. And also like bot density, so I used to play matches with like 32 bots in, even though it was recommended to have like no more than 8. I've started to stick to the recommended bots just because that's probably like the most fun version of playing. Like, it might happen that I walk around and search for an enemy for a little while, but that's just like the pace that was kind of expected of this game, instead of just like you spawn, you shoot, you die kind of thing, which is definitely how things turn out when you add 32 fucking bots to a match. But hey, if anyone's interested to see what that looks like, what adding the most amount of bots possible to like a small map looks like, let me know, and I'll be sure to do another weekly deathmatch in those. I'll be playing a lot more of Overwatch when the 222 queue comes out, and I think that's sometime for the next month or so, I hope. So also maybe expect some more weekly death matches in that game coming up soon. But if you did like the video, leave a like. If you didn't like the video, then I am very sorry. I don't know what I did to upset you. But thanks for watching. Goodbye!